So let's say you found a skeleton. How would you tell it's a dinosaur? You personally, how would you decide?
Well, interesting question. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this show. This is Matt with Maddie, but there's no Maddie. We've got a Chesh, we've got a goblin, and also
Hello.
YouTube took a full 12 minutes to go from me hitting go live to me actually being live after taking 15 minutes to go from me starting my stream on OBS to them picking up the stream on their end.
That's pretty crazy.
So
welcome to a very
yeah.
special Matt without Maddie.
Yeah, so we've had, 27 minutes of YouTube just twiddling their thumbs on this stream.
Yeah.
Which is almost a quarter of
Thinking
how long
about
these streams usually are, so that's crazy. Dutch Tunicate Officials for $2 says, YouTube just work challenge level impossible. Seriously, I am... look, I know it's not my fault, I didn't do anything to cause it, but I am sorry to everyone who was here on time, expecting me to be on time, because I have built up a reputation as being one of the few YouTubers who is reliably on time, and I wasn't this time. So, I know that there's nothing really I could have done about it, but I do want to issue my apologies. As a result, I'm also going to skip over going through all, like, the drinking rules and stuff. Chesh, how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm here. I'm a little bit sleepy, but I'm here as a stand-in because I am an emotional support Canadian.
It's true.
And also a goblin.
Yeah. Maddie is, first I want to say that, I've spoken with Maddie. She is not, like, in danger, but she is not very well. And so, she was like, oh, well, maybe I can drop in later. And I'm like, no, you need take the night, Maddie. So I sent her a video to watch to help her, relax and stuff. So, like, just stop it, Maddie. So, we have a different Matt though today. So normally on this show we alternate between Raw Matt and Matt Powell, who are two of the absolute most brain dead humans I have ever encountered. These are people who give, like, flat earthers like JM Truth or Eric Dubé or Nathan Thompson a run for their money on how absolutely
I forgot about
dead.
Eric Dubé.
Yeah, everyone should forget about Eric Dubé, but and I mean, though, I don't know why it is that the two dumbest young Earth creationists that I've ever encountered are both named Matt. And that's even including the guy Jungle Jargon, who thought the way that you charge a cell phone was by dumping electrons into it. So cell phone batteries were electron buckets. And that when you use the power, the electrons are flowing out of your cell phone, apparently just into the air. So, there you go. Which would mean that your cell phone would be a negative ion generator. Which, it's not, in case anyone's wondering.
That sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, but today we have Matt McLain. Now, Matt McLain, he's going to give you some of this information himself, but he is a reasonably well-credentialed guy. I believe he actually has a PhD. I think he's actually technically Dr. Matt McLain. And his focus is vertebrate paleontologist. Now, I am not comfortable calling him a vertebrate paleontologist because, well, basically for the same reason...
We're going to find out.
Yeah, it's basically for the same reason I wouldn't call Nathan Thompson an Arctic explorer, right? So... Okay?
Arctic explorer, Nathan Thompson.
I suppose Antarctic explorer. Antarctic explorer would be the thing, yeah.
Antarctic anti-explorer, Nathan Thompson.
Right-handed Smith says, Eric can't be as bad as Armando. Oh, yeah, Armando Calvo, I think it is. Raw Matt is worse. I don't know about Matt Powell. Raw Matt is dumber than Armando Calvo. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to talk about...
tier list.
So this is interesting because this video is actually a direct response to a book written by a friend of the channel who has been on the channel before, R.J. Downard. So R.J. Downard wrote a book called Evolution Slam Dunk about the reptile to mammal transition, which is more now properly like the synapsid into actual mammal transition, but whatever. In fact, he acknowledges that title is a bit misleading in the beginning because there aren't any technical reptiles in the mammal lineage, but whatever. And so basically in the book, he points out that creationists just studiously ignore synapsids. And Matt McLain, as a pseudo paleontologist, is going to come at this and say, you know what? Fair enough. Here's my take on the synapsid family tree. And Chesh, I know I don't need to explain to you what a synapsid is because you obviously already know. But I feel like some of the people
I have the biggest brain.
Right, exactly. But I feel like some of the members of the audience might not know. So, synapsids are a group of amniotes, that is, animals that have 4 limbs and live primarily on land, most of them. And they have eggs that have a special membrane called the amnion that helps keep liquid inside the egg so they don't desiccate when they're laid on dry land. And so that includes all the mammals and the reptiles. And it does not include the list amphibians like salamanders and frogs and such. Okay.
That makes sense. I think I understand.
Synapsids
As somebody who already knew.
Right, obviously. Synapsids are a lineage of amniotes that have one synapse or hole in their skulls that is used for muscle attachments for the jaw. Yeah, so you might think, well, where's the hole that's in my head? And if you feel your cheekbones, and then you go back a little bit, right back there, you got a zygomatic arch, and that's a little arch where your jaw comes up and through, and that is, in fact, that same hole that the synapsids have. So there you go. That's where that hole is. Okay. Here we go. Here is
You got a hole in your head.
Yeah. Well, not new Matt. We actually have covered him once before. Oh, and in case anyone's curious, I am currently also running MemTest 86 on my desktop. It's been going for 5 hours and 11 minutes. And yeah, I'm probably going to have to once again spend hundreds of dollars to ship this thing off to the manufacturer, and I'm going to demand that they just replace it. I don't care about them like repairing it. They can repair and refurbish it for their own purposes. I want a brand new machine.
Right. Valid.
Yeah. They do not want to have to do that, which is why I'm indulging them in this mem test, because I'm pretty sure it's not memory. So, yep. All right, here we go.
Hello, my name is Matthew McLain. I'm a professor at the Masters University in...
Arrow Dodger for $4.99 says, fun fact, all Canadians are legally required to own a copy of Cuphead on Steam.
Actually, I don't think I own Cuphead. I should get on that.
RCMP is going to come after you.
But I would also point out that all the Canadians should also own legally a copy of Heave Ho, also Canadian made. Also a very fun game.
Nice.
Heave Ho 2 is coming out soon.
Oh, $4.99 is also the value of a refund I got today. Because, yeah, I was hoping to get this mem test started earlier. I didn't have a USB drive that I had to like that I could just easily spare, like to turn into a mem test boot drive. So I ordered one, and I was like, well, I want this ASAP. So I paid $4.99 to get 3-hour shipping. And then it didn't come in 3 hours. And so I had to talk to customer service, and their robot was like, no, you have to wait until the 22nd. And if it's still not there, then you can request a full refund. And I'm like, no, I am not going to be giving you $5 for a 3-hour delivery for you not to deliver it in 5 hours. Or sorry, 3 hours.
I can see why you're so frustrated with everything recently.
Seriously. Like, everything is just going wrong in the most annoying ways.
Yeah.
And it's not like I wanted a refund for the entire USB drive, because it got to me, and I'm happy to pay the, whatever it cost. But I'm not going to give you those extra $5 to get it early if you're not going to get it to me early. That's the whole point of those extra $5.
This is what happens when you miss rum and coconut.
I know, that is the cause of this, including the retro causality that caused my computer to break before that even happened.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So sorry, Matt McLain, I interrupted you a bunch. Let's blame Arrow Dodger. But also, hey, if we get to 20 super chats, I'll let Chesh drop the F-bomb without getting angry at her.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Free F-bombs for me.
And I'm also a vertebrate paleontologist and a creationist.
See, again, that's one of those kinda, right? It's kind of like saying, I am a professional cartographer and also a flat earther. They're inherently contradictory. There's certain amounts of cartography that you can get done with a flat earth assumption over small areas, and sure, that's fine. Just like it's true that Matt McLain can do small parts of paleontology. But paleontology also involves things like doing cladistic analyses and, checking to to see how like new finds fit in with previous predictions from evolutionary biology and all this. All Matt can really do is like give physical descriptions of fossils and maybe speculate a little bit about like soft tissue anatomy or like constraints on behavior based on anatomy. But that's only a tiny part of paleontology. He can't even properly. Sorry.
I don't like his background.
I think that's just his room. Like I think it's his home office.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that he has like what looks like a hat or a hoodie hung up on his door to make it look like somebody's looming behind him.
Yeah, that is a choice.
I don't like that.
Vendelli 1998 for $2 says, I know Dapper isn't, but are Chesh goblins synapsids? Chesh, are you and your goblin kin synapsids?
Probably not. I'm pretty sure we're fungus.
Okay. Well, at least in Warhammer 40k, the goblins and orcs are fungus. That's why once an orc infestation starts up on your planet, it's basically never going away, because even if you kill the orcs, they die in a cloud of spores.
It lives there now.
Yeah. They're just new ones are just going to grow.
Yeah.
And their technological like knowledge is all like genetically encoded, so they're still going to be able to build guns and trucks and stuff. So yeah.
Yep.
Aiden Palomoeo says, dealing with the call center robot makes me want to go all orange Catholic Bible on them. Yes. Apparently I can't say Butlerian Jihad on YouTube. You know what? Orange Catholic Bible works just as well. And I appreciate it. In fact, I appreciate it well enough that I'm going to take a drink and say cheers to the Butlerian Jihad.
I like that sometimes people get more creative with what they're trying to say, so we get to find out about new things that are also amusing.
Yes. Remember, we will always remember Serena Butler and her poor murder child. Which also, I want to point something out regarding that. In the Dune books about the Butlerian Jihad, an entire galactic war against AI starts because one robot murdered a baby. Hey, spoiler alert. ChatGPT has murdered more people than that already. And it didn't take a star-spanning empire of robots with mega weapons. It just took being a really shitty chatbot with no safety guardrails.
I don't mean to be rude, but it's not that difficult to kill a baby.
Okay, yeah, but that's not the point.
No, I'm just saying the bar's low.
True. So yeah, what I'm saying is that that ChatGPT is already worse than Omnius, and we're not having a Butlerian Jihad, and that's not okay.
Right.
That's not okay.
Oh, I understand.
Yes. Yeah, we're already doing the thing that's worse than the dystopian sci-fi setting, and everyone.
Oh man,
just
did you
like,
see people with like little like stylized artistic mask things that are designed in a way that are going to mess with like the cameras and stuff and the AI facial recognition? And it's like, oh, we've made it to that part of this dystopia. Hooray!
Yeah, where we're intentionally causing glitches in computer systems with our masks, just so we don't.
We're all getting like cool, like little part facial covered, fancy looking, snazzy future jewelry.
Oh my god, Roshina says the new chat GPT for teens is going to do so well. I didn't even know that was a thing, and I already hate it.
No, teenagers do not need help.
Look, interacting with chatbots like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, it should have like a strict, like not even 21 plus age requirement. You should have to be 40 before you're even allowed to interact directly with a chatbot.
I feel like you should have to have a programming degree.
Yeah, maybe that.
Like there should be like, maybe there should be an age limit, but I feel like there should be more of like an educational minimum bar. Like you have to have, like maybe it's not programming, maybe it's like specifically like you should be in this field studying and working on it if you're going to be messing with it.
Panada64 says, can we go back to 2016? R.I.P. Harambe. Look, you know what? Get
We
your
were
Richards out.
Me and Dapper were just talking
yep.
about this.
I'm like, man, remember when the biggest meme was just like, get your dick out for Harambe? Man.
Better
times.
I'm convinced that the timeline will never repair itself until Harambe sees justice.
All right, here we go. Let's get more of Matt McLain in. We're only 8 seconds
You mean
in.
any Matt McLain?
We've got 8 seconds in, actually, Chesh. Thank you.
This is not... I want to point out that this is not my fault this time. I didn't do it.
No, you didn't. Harambe did.
And I'm going
Do
to
you
talk
guys
to
like
you
my new
today
background?
I do.
My plant fell over, but that's okay. I'll fix it later.
about synapsids and the evolution of mammals, a different view. Obviously, because I don't think that all mammals share a single common ancestor. And we're going to get into what that is. But your first question might be, what is a synapsid?
No, I already explained that to everyone because even though Chesh already knew, I knew you guys didn't,
Mhm.
but that's okay.
Synapsida is the group
Is he gonna
that
get it
contains...
right?
Kind of, because one of the problems
That's what I
is
figured.
that so one of the problems is creationists fundamentally cannot get taxonomy right because we now include in our taxonomic definitions the requirement of common ancestry between the taxa because we can demonstrate common ancestry to an arbitrarily high level of confidence, even though we can't technically prove it in the mathematical or logical sense. And so as a result, we're moving away from strictly character-based definitions, which is what he's going to use. And instead we're going into evolutionary history-based definitions and then giving character traits that are characteristic of a group as ways to recognize that an organism may be a part of this evolutionary lineage. So yeah, we're basically getting to the point where technically creationists can't actually be right about taxonomy, but they can be almost right and right enough that unless you're a taxonomist, you might not notice the difference.
I have something that I want to throw out there because we have 420 for the super chats right now, and I feel like that's appropriate.
Yeah.
So how I have this thing here. This is my dirt box. It's just full of water for my one plant, right? I'm gonna put other stuff in it, but for now, that's just what it is. I'm getting a new one, like another one. It is a 2-foot cube.
That's big.
It's gonna be huge.
Interesting. Okay.
I can't wait to show you guys.
Babaton has buffering, but I'm showing a strong connection to YouTube, so if anyone else is experiencing buffering, please let me know.
It's showing as fine on my end, and I'm watching the outside.
Okay. Kanana says Will Duffy is currently struggling with taxonomy with Erica. Yeah. So I don't super want to get into it
I feel like you
now.
could just take out half of that and just say
Well,
Will Duffy is currently struggling with Erica.
Yeah. So I don't want to super get into the whole why it is that creationists fundamentally cannot understand taxonomy in terms of evolutionary biology. But I already have a part of that in the most recent script that I wrote. So my recommendation is if you want to hear my full take on that ASAP, be a patron or a channel member.
mammals
Great.
and their closest fossil relatives. So you can see over here we have a possum and a platypus, both being mammals we recognize. But there's all these other animals that are similar to modern mammals in many ways, but are not truly mammals.
Okay.
Why is he on the opposite side of the screen?
I don't know. He probably has these things as setups. Whatever. He's bouncing
Why?
around.
Why would you?
I don't know.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
It's so distracting.
It is. But all right. So one thing I want people to notice is, do you notice the degree to which that chart of his looks like a bunch of transitional fossils?
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anything that.
Well, and would you be surprised to learn that as you go down and to the right, you actually are also going forward through time?
Yeah, that does seem to be pretty consistent. Yeah. Why did he set it up like that?
He didn't. He got this from an actual scientific well, I think it was a textbook, but it was an actual scientific textbook and not a creationist textbook. Because this is, in fact, a diagram displaying the evolution of the mammal jaw from basal synapsid jaws, which were basically the same as amphibian or reptile jaws in their configuration. Dutch Tunicate Official for $5 says, there were AI glasses for sale last time I went to get corrective eyewear, as if I want to wear the technology destroying our future with the Godzilla. And I'll take a drink for that Godzilla. Yeah.
If you care about 50% of the population, don't buy AI glasses.
Yeah. Yep. I was thinking today about what's a good analogy for why it is I'm opposed to AI. And I figured out what it is, right?
I wear my sunglasses at night so I can watch you like a creep.
And actually it had to do with what I talked about with Danny and Landon on the last debate pub, where Danny
The
was
one where
like,
I wasn't there.
yeah, the one where Danny was like, well, what if I'm just using a small language model on my own personal computer? And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to figure out who's doing that and who's not. So and it's going to be a vastly tiny number, like vastly smaller number, who are doing that using the small model locally, compared to the number of people who are using a large language model on a, civilization destroying scale data center. And so here's my analogy. We're feel free to workshop this with me sometime, right? So my idea is like, let's suppose that we released a brand new food product and it was really good and people liked it, but every once in a while, people who ate it just kind of died. But people really like it though, so like we don't care too much.
I have a different suggestion.
Let me finish the analogy. And then it turns out that the way this food product is made is by just rounding up the poorest people in rural regions and just grinding them into a paste.
Turning them into mincemeat.
Right? But then someone comes along and is like, yeah, but my version of this dish is made out of locally sourced rats that I grow myself, and then I mince those up. I don't care. I don't care. You're still killing people to make a product that itself then goes on to kill more people. For what purpose? Because it's addictive? And the answer is yes. But then on top of that, in this analogy, it costs more to make this food product than the people are actually willing to pay for it in the first place. And it's just like every step of this is dumb and evil. Every single step.
I would suggest moving away from the cuisine analogy, and I would suggest, like, I like the idea, I like the direction, but I would suggest using something like aerosol. Remember when aerosol got banned?
Well, I remember when
what if you go and make
aerosols were never banned?
Yeah, specifically that. It was, but what if I just made it myself for my own hair? And it's like, what are you talking about?
Right. Trixie Purple.
What are you talking about? There's a hole in the ozone layer. Stop it.
Stop it. Yeah. Just don't do it. Trixie Purple, who's been a member for 30 months, says, but taxonomic definitions are circular with a Carmen. We'll take a drink for that, Carmen. Yeah, Creationism
Danny is going to come on and talk to me about AI in probably next month sometime, and I'll we'll get into some of that stuff. Later.
Good. I'm not coming to that. I might
No.
It.
It might just be me and Danny, just because of like the nature of the conversation. I do have a conversation with Landon and Chris Shelton and Barry coming up about the singularity, like as in like not AI, but as in like a robot coming into consciousness.
Josh, we get $5 says, because it's what plants crave. Exactly. It's got electrolytes. Speaking of which, I am drinking tequila and grapefruit soda, which tastes sort of like it's sort of margarita-ish. It's like in the family of margaritas in terms of flavor
adjacent
profile. Yeah. Look, it's not as good as a margarita, but it's also way simpler to make. So like
valid.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. What are you drinking there, Chesh?
I'm drinking lemon water.
Nice. With vodka?
No. Just lemon water.
Okay.
So we're going to take a look at some of these
warm.
Animals that are thought to be similar to mammals, but not quite. So you can see there are pelycosaurs, which are up here near the top where it says Dimetrodon. There are Therapsids, which are these animals in here.
So one thing I do want to point out is that he actually properly puts pelycosaurs in quotations because it's not really a valid taxon, because it would include Therapsids if we were to define it properly. And so this is one of those instances where I'm like, Matt McLain is better than most young Earth creationists at doing paleontology stuff, right? Because he knows that pelycosaur is not an actual taxon, and so he knows to not leave it out there as if it were one. And it's one of those subtle things that it's hard to pick up on if you're not really like knowledgeable about not just biology broadly, but specifically taxonomy, and then specifically on top of that paleontology. Swiftlight says, so a Timu margarita. I mean, kinda, yeah, except that it gets here on time because I just went to the grocery store to get the ingredients.
Quite frankly, I think I would hate that drink. That sounds horrid to me.
What, grapefruit and tequila?
Yeah, that does not sound good to me. Maybe it is.
Do you like citrus and tequila?
I would try it.
Because that's the flavor profile of a margarita.
I hate tequila.
Oh, well then yeah, you probably wouldn't like it.
I only have one way I drink tequila anymore, and it's with Tabasco sauce or your spicy sauce of choice.
Actually,
As
people
a shot.
people might remember the story of how the Casa Dino ended up with like 1.5 gallons of hot sauce.
Yes.
And I
That was on
tried,
Tuesday
yeah, I tried one of
last week.
Ben's hot sauces that he bought himself, and while it's not very spicy, even though it says it's made with Carolina Reapers, it is delicious.
Apple whiskey and Dr. Pepper sounds disgusting. Although,
I've tried it.
admittedly, it's been a long time since I've had Dr. Pepper, so I might not hate it. I didn't like it before. Maybe
Oh.
I would like it now. Time has passed.
Speaking of drinks, remember, if you want me to finish this drink and then have to go get another one and start off like way more drunk, all we got to do is get the queue for gifted memberships to be up to 30.
I do want to point out before you hit play that we have been live for 30 minutes. We were 10 minutes late, roughly, and we haven't gotten 1 minute of this guy.
We're about to. It's like Chesh has never been on
We
one
can
of my
go for a
shows
half an
before.
hour. I just want to get to a half an hour and only get 1 minute. I'm just delaying right now. It's a
And,
delay tactic.
of the Therapsids, there are the Cynodonts,
I did my best.
which Probinognathus and Thrinaxodon are both examples of those. And then there'd be Mammaliaformes, which would be the group that contains things like Morganucodon, as well as our true mammals are in there. And so I should go ahead and
Just
say
looks like
this.
platypus.
Technically, synapsid and therapsid, if you're using these terms as they're intended, they're going to include mammals as part of them. Now,
That is true. Take a drink. Mammals are indeed
Spoon of the
Therapsids.
universe.
Hmm?
That is very sad. Spoon became allergic to tomatoes and
Oh,
peppers,
no.
so even plain red sauce is spicy to me. I don't know. That sounds sad. That maybe that's a good thing if the
No.
spice is good.
No,
But
it's
that
not.
sounds
a
like it's
bad
probably
spice.
bad.
Yeah, that's a bad spice.
I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to assume.
Yeah.
you technically, if you want to talk about the animals, like for instance up here, that aren't mammals, you'd have to call them non-mammalian therapsids or non-mammalian synapsids, and that's very long. And so just for our purposes,
It is. And that is similar to the whole, like, technically, we should refer to things like Tyrannosaurus or Stegosaurus as non-avian dinosaurs if we want to make sure that we're not talking about birds. But whatever. I don't care. He doesn't care.
No.
We're both fine on that.
for this lecture, I'll talk about when I say therapsids, I'm not including mammals unless I specify.
No, that's fair.
So let's take a look at this therapsid
Okay.
line to mammals. You have your
I like that we're
pelycosaur.
defining our terms.
Yeah.
Thank
Look-
you for dividing our terms.
Look, like I said, Matt McLain, if you didn't know better,
Is better.
you would think that he's a scientist. He only gives
Oh.
away that he's not actually a scientist in subtle ways, right? You got to pay attention.
You mean like when he blatantly says he's a young Earth creationist?
Well, yeah, that does give it away a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
And then you hit true Therapsida, and that includes animals like Aesthemosuchians, Dinocephalians, Anomodonts, Gorgonopsians, Theracephalians, and Cynodonts.
Up here, among the non-Cynodonts, Gorgonopsians are my favorite. Although I do have a special place in my heart for the Dinocephalians, because Mostrops is adorable.
I still, please, I beg of you, friend, my brother in Christ, if you're putting your slides together and then presenting something, don't flick your frickin' camera around. Just pick a space that you're gonna leave open for your frackety slides.
I got bad news for you. You're probably going to have to deal with that, because my guess is it's going to happen every single time he changes.
It's gonna
slides.
happen every slide.
Yep.
Every slide he's gonna be in a
Probably.
different spot, and
Mhm.
it's very upsetting.
I'm sorry. At least he's
I
not
didn't-
mirroring himself every time. Yeah, that'd be worse.
And then, of course, the mammals at the end there. And so this is supposedly the evolutionary story for the transition from pelycosaurs to mammals, ultimately through Therapsids. You can see there's a variety of animals represented here, which is they're really interesting. Take a little bit of a look at
Probably
some
why
of the
they're
other
all
ones.
called different things.
Yeah. So it is one of the things I think though that people don't really get is just the degree to which synapsids had a crazy diversity in like the Permian, right? Because the Permian really was the period of synapsid domination. We had synapsids filling basically every every megafaunal niche, basically. And the Diapsids were really relatively small and in the background. And it's not until the Triassic that that starts to wane. And even at the beginning of the Triassic, Dicynodonts, which are a now extinct group of synapsids that were not mammaliformes or anything like that, but they were the most common land animal at the beginning of the Triassic. So
Okay, so he doesn't do it every time.
Yeah,
so I
'cause it's on the
propose a
same
new
side.
drinking rule.
When he switches, all right, we'll do that because I'm thirsty.
Drink every time he switches. Yeah.
Start with our pelycosaurs. These are the more reptile-like things. So
when he says reptile-like, what that actually means is they're low. They're amniotes with not much in terms of derived traits. Right? They're still very basal amniotes. They have the sprawling gait. They have the reptile-like, which is really just a tetrapod-like jaw. They don't tend to have strongly differentiated teeth. They have ribs that go all the way back down to their hips. They have extensive cervical ribs. All of these are things that we find in reptiles, but they're not because they're reptilian traits. It's because they're tetrapod traits, basically, or in some cases, amniote traits.
I don't know. I'm looking at this skeleton, and my brain is reading it as like the bottom of the chest plate there, and the top or the bottom of like where it looks like that there's this eye in its skull is just a gaping mouth.
That's Codolorhynchus, which is one of my favorite quote-unquote pelycosaurs, because it's just so
He's
adorable.
pretty cool looking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And look at him. He's like the size of like a rhino.
Yeah, big.
Dutch Tunicate Official for $5 says, everyone always forgets about the majority of biomass just for our leafy overlords with a maple leaf. Thank you very much.
Fact.
Plant blindness is real, everybody. You may suffer from plant blindness. Also, MemTest is finished, so that's nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So sometime later, I will go and shut that computer down and save the test result and send it to the computer's manufacturer so I can say, nope, it's not the memory. Now what would you like me to do?
Now send me a new computer, please. Thank you.
Basically, they're almost certainly going to make me send this computer off.
Yes.
With like a whole bunch of shipping costs. Last time I shipped this computer off, which is just in May, it was $300 to ship it.
No.
Yep. $300 for shipping and insurance.
I reject this. I reject this concept in its totality. Terrible.
Yep.
No.
So while I'm not doing a fundraiser, every super chat helps.
You've got Cotylorhynchus here, the Caseid. We've got this big barrel chest, really tiny head, absurdly tiny head. You can see it's a big animal. You could ride that thing.
I don't know if you could. I feel like that might go poorly for you, but like, what do I know?
But yeah, not incredibly mammal-like when you look at it.
Well, it is mammal-like in some ways, though, in like its jaw arrangement, in terms of like where the muscles attach to the cranium. Those are actually fairly mammal-like. So there are some mammal-like traits there, but then again, he said not very mammal-like, and I guess I can't completely disagree there. So
they tend to have
loose
sprawling
language.
posture.
Yeah.
You can see there with the humerus and the femur both held out to the side, more like what you see in a lizard. You have animals, sphacodontid pelycosaurs like Dimetrodon or Cecodontosaurus.
Pegajace the Carbon-14 Mythicist just sent 5 Dapper Dinosaur memberships, and if we get some more while I'm taking those drinks, then we could get to the finish the drink category. But maybe, while I am taking my 5 drinks, Chesh is going to tell you which mark of Space Marine power armor is best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 10. And don't ask where 9 came. Don't ask about 9.
Well, presumably 9 was eaten by 7. But the answer is obviously 7 because it's the most powerful because it ate 9.
I'm sorry. The actual answer is 4. 4 is the best.
That was 4 was going to be my next one.
Yeah. Now that is of course my just subjective. Like that's the one I like the best. When I was thinking about making a Alpha Legion Horus Heresy army, I was going to give my guys pretty much all 4 or 6. 'Cause I don't like 5. So it's going to pretty much just be 4 or 6. Oh, and here comes 5 more Dapper Dinosaur memberships from Joshua Geese, which means that Chesh now gets to tell us who her favorite Primarch is.
I don't have one. Fight me.
You just can't think of the names of any of them.
Also that.
Yeah.
If I had a favorite, I would know their name.
Like Sanguinius, the pretty boy with wings, who might also be a vampire.
It's only Nurgle.
So Mortarion, then.
Only Nurgle.
Well, Mortarion is the Primarch that pledged himself.
Yeah,
to
I know. I don't
Nurgle.
even care about that guy.
Oh, okay.
Just because you pledge yourself to Nurgle doesn't mean you get the Nurgle cred. Everybody's Nurgle anyway.
Well, I mean...
It's all Nurgles all the way down.
It is all Nurgle. But Mortarion is pretty cool. I mean, I like...
He is pretty cool, yeah.
He's got big old moth wings, and he has a big old scythe, and he's wearing that gas mask.
And he's lazy as fuck.
Not really.
That was our F-bomb for the day.
Oh, yeah. He just really doesn't like his son.
I mean, do any of them?
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of daddy,
There are a whole lot of daddy
son-father relationship issues in Warhammer.
It's true. Yeah, daddy issues does sum up a lot of the Warhammer lore. Oh well.
Which may have been able to have a little bit more of an upright posture. There's some debate about that. People are trying to look into that. But
I don't know what in the hell that bottom thing is. Oh, wait, it's not supposed to actually be Dimetrodon. All right, never mind. It's a different genus. Fine, it's good. I was like, if that's supposed to be Dimetrodon, then that looks like some kind of crazy AI slop version. But then I looked, and it's Dicynodonts. So, okay, never mind. That's fine. Hey, you know what's cool, but not a synapsid? Arizonosaurus.
Oh.
Yeah, Arizonosaurus is a non-synapsid with a sail. And it's from near where I live, in Arizona. Ever heard of it?
Arizona?
Yeah.
I think I've heard of Arizona.
Okay. Well, in a recent AI-produced map of the U.S. that was given to some school children here in the U.S., it was labeled as Arizona with an E at the end. Arizona.
It's like Arizona, like it's pasta.
Right. Joshua Geese for $10 says, from Goop23 and Jillian Rent, well, thank you very much to all 3 of you. I really appreciate that. I am keeping track of how much we make in terms of, like, do I get bent, like a, what do you call that? A pizza or anything? Even though I'm not sure he wants a pizza because he's still not feeling completely better. And yeah, he's still, like,
you've got all the tech problems in the world and everybody's getting sick.
Seriously. Bent is still basing his food choices for the day based on what he thinks he will most likely keep down.
That's rough.
Yeah. So.
Still overall not all that much like a mammal.
So I do want to point out that the reason we call it Dimetrodon, right? It means 2-measured tooth. The reason for that is because Dimetrodon actually has morphologically different teeth in different parts of its jaw, 2 basic shapes, and that's the beginning of, like, tooth shape differentiation, or to give it its technical term, heterodonty, which means different teeth, which is the condition that we see in mammals. So that is actually a pretty significant change towards the mammal-like condition in Dimetrodon and similar pelycosaurs. Isabella Tracer says, you are now entering the Arizona. I like it.
No, you gotta say it like it's the Twilight Zone.
Okay, then you do it like it's the Twilight Zone. I don't know what I did wrong.
You are now entering. You gotta do the voice drop.
Okay.
You gotta do it
sure.
low.
You are now entering the Arizona.
You can go lower.
Okay, but I don't want to strain my voice.
Oof.
It's a real thing that happens, Chesh. Look, it happens.
Yeah.
Kerry Bronson for $4.99 says, "Here's to the oatmeal fund." Then, thank you very much. Panada for Panada 64 for $10. I can talk. I know what words are and what numbers are. I'm not illiterate yet. It says, "To your computer and fight for normalcy. AIG is a phallus of a flatworm." Nice. I'll take a drink for that.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know if you were there, Chesh, but on Saturday, we informed Kip of how flatworm mating goes, where they just have a duel with their spiky penises, and then whoever gets literally stabbed in through the body, that one gets pregnant. Let's see. Gord Main for 5. Beaverbuck says, for the cursing and the computer with a Carmen Adam Mothra. Thank you very much. We'll take a drink for that. Orange Dot, who's been a member for 5 months, sends Godzilla, Mothra, Dapper, and Murphy. We'll take a drink for that.
Hell yeah! Why is Murphy still here?
Because people like Murphy, and they send Murphy as their representative for you. And then for $150, thank you so much. Bear Kolesqua says, for the pizza fund / computer fund / gas in the tank, because you have to drive all over freaking Arizona taking care of folks. Thank you so much. That is extremely generous. Thank you. I look, I feel like thank you isn't enough to say, but I also don't know what else to say, so I really appreciate that, and it really does mean a lot. I will ask
I have a
Vince
question
about pizza later. Yes.
Chat. Do you guys actually like Murphy? Are you guys happy with Murphy? You let me know.
I mean, yeah, we can change Murphy if you don't like him, but DM Wing just sent like 6 of them.
It's true. I just want to know people's opinions. I'm not saying anything has to change. I was just curious.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you know what I could do? I could show people my most like a version of my most recent art project that I was working on this weekend to like take my mind off of things. Tell you what, we'll put up
in like response to that, how generous everyone is being. You know, give them something special.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, do it.
I'm adding a poll. It only has yes or no. I'm not adding turtle. Sorry, everybody. So for $2, Naramdaput says Arizona isn't nearly as good as Aerozone. Okay. So now we're getting.
I'll
some
add to
pushback.
this. I can send you a piece of art that you already saw, and you can share that one too if you want.
All right, I will. Ooh, how are you sending it? You just sending it to me on Discord?
Yeah, I can just send it to you, unless you want me to send it somewhere else.
Can you email it to me? That might be easier in terms of like the setup that I have going.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know what I'll do? I'll put it in the drive for Star Trek.
Yeah, that'll work.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That'll do, donkey.
So yeah, I am browsing around my my laptop here to make sure that I can find it, because the immediate response has been like 97% yes. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that the poll is going to be like, yes, please do. Which, why are you not showing up?
See, if you give him money, you get extra free shit.
Yeah, that's basically true.
I guess it's not technically free at that point. If you give him tips, he will give you more stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's technically true in some ways. Where is this? Oh, do I have to put it in a different freaking folder because of being dumb? It probably is actually true. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't even know where mine went. Mine's gone. It disappeared.
So, one thing, basically, Microsoft is complaining about like how I've run out of OneDrive space, and I'm like, I never wanted to use OneDrive in the first place, Microsoft. Here you go, everybody. There it is. It's right there on screen. That is the art project I'm working on. Let's see. Don't want to miss this. No, sorry. Landon Null for $4.99 says 5 out of 5/3 of a % of unreasonable computer shipping cost. Ice is a bag of AIG. Justice for ICE victims. Hi, Chesh. And we will take a drink for that. Yes.
Hello.
Also, hey.
Oh.
I do want to point out that so you might have seen the bringmymomhome.com interview that I gave with Daria Soboleva and about her mom Alevtina Soboleva. And the last I heard, Alevtina is out of the concentration camp and was on her way home to her daughter's house, and that is the last update I had. But so to some degree, we kind of did it. So, Bear Kolesqua for $20 says, "Who the f voted no?" I mean, maybe someone misclicked. We're actually going to end the poll though, because clearly the response was overwhelming. Out of 50 votes, 98% said yes, 1% said no. So one person did not want to see this helmet here. For $2 or for $1.99, Roshna says, "More tips. Is Dapper a Catholic church?" Oh no! Oh no!
Is Dapper a Catholic church? Question mark?
So yeah, let me know what you think in the chat, or if you have questions. There it is.
I put 2 pictures and 2 different versions. That is because it's still a little bit incomplete that I've been working on. That is now in the drive.
Okay, I will go find them and download them while I hit play here.
Hooray!
All right.
But then we hit our Therapsids, and they are incredible. I mean, just look at this guy. This is Moss Chops. What a guy. He's got this also big barrel chest, not such a tiny head, actually a head with super thick bone on it for butting into things.
Well,
kind of a big chest
presumably for
animal. It's a really funny animal. We also have our Dicynodonts. These are, the way I like to explain this to students is that they're basically, imagine a pig with the head of an eagle and the tusks of a walrus.
That's not what I would use to describe that.
Terrace Rose just gifted 5 Dapper Dinosaur memberships. Chesh, just put it in the Discord because for some reason Google Drive is being fucking annoying right now. And then there's our other one. I just ruined it.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me. And Landon is clarifying, and Landon talked to me about this over on Debate Hub on during Rum and Coke Night, is that Daria's mother is home.
Oh, good.
As of right now.
Good.
There you go.
All right. I'll just save. I'll save one, and then we'll do the other one after the break. That's what I'll do.
I mean, okay.
All right.
If that's what you want.
It is what I want. Thank you for asking. For $2, Orange Dot says, please feed Benthoven, no relation. All right, I will feed Bent. Don't worry. I will feed Bent.
We are only 2 super chats away from your extra F-bomb being forgiven.
That's
1
true.
away from your extra F-bomb being forgiven.
That's true. So I need to... Where is the thing?
Ray said pig with the head of an eagle is Matt's mom.
Oh,
That's not very nice.
No, it's not.
Which Matt?
That will presumably Matt McLain, because that's the one we're talking about.
I'm not willing to make that assumption.
All right, that's fair. All right. So let me pull up this picture here in the thing. There is
in OBS.
Chesh's most recent, in OBS. There is Chesh's most recent art project that she's working on. It's dashi, which is not a broth, by the way, in this case. I made that mistake. I was like, wait, Is she named after a broth, like a Japanese broth? And the answer is no. No, she's not.
No, she's not.
But you can see my confusion. Let's see. For $2, Rail Gatubello says, a pig with the head of an eagle is Matt's mom. Oh, you read that one, sorry. Naron puts in a $1 super chat with no message. Thank you very much. And for $10, by the way, we got we're released. Let's see. Aiden Polemoeo for $10 says, I am almost offended by that description of Dicynodonts. They are not pigs. The beaks are nothing like eagles, and it's just so wrong. It's true. They are very.
It looks really wrong. Does not look like what I would describe.
Dark Law Dragon sends Godzilla, Mothra, Ghidorah, and a Murphy, and we will take a drink. Thank you very much.
Normandy Foxtrot said, "Why is Dashi looking at them with disgust? She's just like that. Don't worry about it.
She is kind of like that.
She is.
Yeah,
she is just like that."
Pinata 64 says, "Chesh, you are talented. I agree." All right,
thank you.
So we're gonna get a little bit in it, but we are gonna take a break
pretty
soon for fresh drinks.
So yeah, it's got a beak. But it's also got tusks, and it's kind of a pig-like body. And they'd be sprawling to semi-erect in posture. We have our Gorgonopsians here, and you can see these guys have saber teeth, as you can see right.
Well, I mean, they have large canines. I don't know where the cutoff is, so I'm not going to say it's wrong.
Saber teeth. I want to know if he made up this description himself, or if it was written down somewhere.
Saber-toothed?
No, the description.
Oh, the pig eagle thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he made that up, but I'm not sure. Templar Warden for 5. Kiwi Buck says, for 4 seconds, less of Matt and 4 minutes more Chesh. Unleashed power. See, that's the thing, is I don't care that much how much of the videos we get through, because generally speaking, people are more interested in what my guests are saying than, like, whatever the heck the stupid creationist is saying.
Yeah, because we're already a little bit biased against that. You've already done the work to know that it's nonsense to begin with, and I think people trust you.
Yeah.
I also already killed all my brain cells today because I streamed for nearly 3.5 hours watching Candace Owens debating and discussing with Andrew Wilson.
rough.
If you didn't want to watch that by yourself because it sounds terrible, you can come and watch it with me. It's okay. We have a good time.
There, and they are carnivores. The other two we have here are herbivores, and they probably would be top predators in their environments.
That's true. Take a drink.
You can notice it looks a little bit like a dog or a wolf, hence like it.
Yeah, it does, Matt. It's almost like what we have here is an animal filling a similar leash while being in the same evolutionary lineage. Well, it's almost like that. In fact, the difference in the teeth is one of the main ways that we can actually tell that this is on that mammal-like lineage. And also, this is a Therapsid, which has reduced ribs going towards the hip, because one of the things that's unique to mammals among modern living say amniotes, is that mammals have thoracic vertebrae with ribs and then lumbar vertebrae that don't have ribs, whereas reptiles and most amphibians, except for frogs who are weird, they just have ribs that go all the way down, called thoracic ribs with thoracic vertebrae. But in these advanced therapsids like organopsids, the sort of ribs going towards the hips are actually significantly reducing. And then in later, more mammal-like therapsids, they're gone. Sorry, go ahead.
Admittedly, we are not very far in this video, but he spent so far the first 5 minutes explaining why the position he posited of Younger's creationism at the beginning is incorrect. He hasn't actually gotten to the part where he's just
showing evidence for evolution.
Explaining why all of this is wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now everything I showed you is wrong and throw it all in the bin.
Right.
Like,
Pinata64 asks if we can get a stream where we don't go past the title card. So the thing is that's mostly up to chat, right? So like, if you want that to happen, my suggestion would be to conspire to all give like interesting and numerous like $2 super chats that can all form like the basis of a tangent. Because if we get enough of those, then we absolutely can, and it won't even be that expensive.
It won't even be that hard.
Yeah. We've gotten pretty close sometimes in my Saturday streams because, can me, Vish, and Kip go on tangents, and sometimes Chesh too, because she's been there for Saturday before.
You did that thing where you called Vish me and me Vish.
It's not as bad.
Happens.
It does happen, but I don't do it as much as I mix up Nathaniel Jeanson and Jason Lyle. Those two men are the exact same person in my brain, and there is no way that I've found to reliably fix that problem. They are just the same guy, even though they're very much not the same guy. They just seem to have like the exact same vibe. Like they're both like the dark-haired, skinny white guy with a funny hairdo who does creationist nonsense. And even though they do very different like areas of creationism, they're still just the same guy to me, and I mix them up all the time. And like, honestly, my sincere apologies to both of them, because it's not fair to either of you, even though I'm not like a big fan of either of you, but still, it's
not intentional. Yeah.
So like, I am sorry, but
I have a rule on my channel. I'm like generally being a fuckhead and an asshole, but I want people to correct me if I'm an asshole by accident. If I'm being an asshole, I am doing it intentionally. So if I'm an asshole to somebody by accident, even if it's somebody I don't like, it was not. I never want to be an asshole by accident. I always want my assholery to be like on point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Too Young to Feel This Old, who's been a member for 35 months and is at the amniote level since moving.
Good name.
It is. Since moving to Japan, catching live streams has been tough, but I made it this time. I made it this time. Jesus. Look, my brain is
People give me a hard time.
I know. I'm having this is bad for me. Have a drink for a
You're
poor
just having
soul
a bad
stuck
day.
at work right now. Well, you know what? I will have a drink. Just
cheers.
We are about to go on a quick break. Look, Japan is a place that I really enjoyed visiting. I don't know if I want to move there though. Like the work culture is basically everything I hate about American work culture times 10. So like, yeah, especially the degree to which it's performative, because you know how like in Japan it's rude to leave before your boss does. What that means is that you just act busy for like 12 hours.
Yeah.
Right? You're not doing anything because your tasks are not going to take you that long. And like
Yeah.
I hate performative work. It is one of the things I hate the most.
Such a waste of time.
Seriously. Like if I'm doing performative work, I want to be doing almost anything else. It drives me all through the roof. I hate it so much. It's one of the reasons that I basically am working for myself, right? Like earlier, Bent was like, "You should maybe take a sick day." I'm like, "My boss will be angry about it." It's like, "Isn't that just you?" Yes, it is just me.
For anybody who doesn't know, Dapper regularly is overworking himself.
It's true.
Be-
Yeah, Chesh has to like annoy me to take a break. She's like, "You're working too much. Go take a break. Go get a snack. Go take a nap." I'm like, "No."
This man is like, "No, I have editing to do, and I gotta record this audio." And I'm like, "Bitch, you were just bragging that you were like over a year ahead of content.
No,
You can take
like
a
5
day."
months. I wanted to get to a year, but that's not happening. Bear Klesqua for $2 says, "Join us in the Netherlands." You know what? The Netherlands does sound like a nice
I'd go
place
visit.
to go. Yeah.
I would love to go check that out. Visit.
Look, there are places that I would be okay with moving to. The problem is that most of the places that are outside the US are very hard to move to unless you just have a job there, and I don't want to do that. I want to do this job. And unfortunately, I also don't make enough to get like the digital nomad visas in most places. Like I looked into like what does it take to move to like Spain or Australia as a digital nomad? And like, oh, you have to have this much like in the bank. And I'm like, well, nope, don't have that.
Nope.
Nops. I'm
We
referring
can go
to
visit though.
Oh yeah, I could visit.
a wolf. And my personal favorite, Aesthemosuchus.
Aesthemosuchus
That looks like something from Monster Hunter.
It does. And it's also a decent favorite synapsid, like non-mammalian synapsid. So you know what? Oh, he switches positions. Take a drink.
Oh.
So I got to give him props for both picking a good favorite non-mammalian synapsid. Fair enough. And also for coming up with like a cool little like model of it as the picture that he's using, because it's a fun model. So you know what? I hate to say it, but I feel like I might actually be able to get along with Matt McLain in person. Like I feel like
invite him on, and we can talk. We can talk about it.
Yeah. Hey, look, Matt. If you ever watch this, and maybe I'll send you an email later. I don't know. Maybe if Chesh reminds me, because I guarantee I will forget.
I'll do my best.
Okay. But I'd be happy to have you on, and I won't bite. I think people can generally vouch for the fact that when I'm on stream with a creationist, while I will have lots of disagreements, that as long as as long as that person is not being a dick,
you'll match energy.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I've had a lot of very productive and very cordial conversations, especially on Jackson Wheat's channel with a lot of creationists, including a lot of creationists who are not nearly as smart as you are, Matt. So
I think that if you guys had a conversation, it would be a different level of conversation. Like, so you know how a lot of the times you end up having the same conversation over and over again? It's possible that a conversation between you and Matt would devolve eventually into the same kind of problems over and over again. But I think you'd have like a little bit of a higher level starting point than I think a lot of the times you start with. And if you're scared of Dapper, you can come on Debate Hub. I'll protect you. It's okay.
I don't bite normally. Especially
yeah, but we had to put a rule on Debate Hub that said Dapper's not allowed to go first.
Yeah. Because last time I did that, my opponent just was like, well, I guess I'm done. I can see the debate.
Which is props to them, but also not the first time you've done it.
It's true. It's the second time I've done it.
The first time you did it on Debate Hub, but not the first time you've done it.
Yeah. That's true. Right-handed Sid says, what D&D size class would that be? So Aesthemosuchus would probably be on the low end of large. So like it's probably about the size of like a. So the thing is, like it's going to be a very heavy and stocky animal, but in terms of like how big it is physically, in terms of like how big of a box would you need to fit this thing, it's going to be similar to like a small horse, like a pony or something, which is going to be roughly on the large size, because a human can ride a pony, and the general rule of thumb in D&D is you can ride something that's one size category bigger than you are. So that's why like halflings can ride.
Something has to be one size category bigger than you to be able to ride.
So that's why like halflings can ride large dogs that are medium size.
Yeah. Yes. The logic tracks.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a quick break because I am out of my drink. If I were to take a sip of this, you would hear that slurpy straw sound. Yeah, exactly. We don't want that. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we are back from the break, then we will continue on. But during that time, we are also you're going to get to see the teaser trailer for Star Trek. So that's fun, right? Everyone loves that.
Mm.
All right. So yeah, we'll be right back after this message from me and Chesh. Both of our voices are in it. So
Hooray!
yeah. Next time on Star Trek Endurance.
Captain's Log Stardate 61391.7. Our away team has spent 3 exhilarating weeks sitting through the ruins of an extinct civilization, and one that isn't just an outpost of the Teal'c on the third moon of Raisenshire. No Federation member has been here before, so we have an exciting report to compile for the Federation Archaeology Council. Spending 2 days moving through a protective biome and digging through old structures while in EV suits has me longing for a long sonic shower. We depart the surface today.
The archaeological work has been very fruitful, and the crew have many artifacts that will interest Federation archaeologists greatly. But they have also brought something else back with them. As the ship starts to fail and the crew becomes affected, they will learn the sinister truth of what befell Raisenshire, and they will have to avoid its first doom while not transmitting its second doom to anyone else. Can the crew recover the ship and stop this sinister force from spreading? Find out next time on Star Trek Endurance, only on the Top Hats Off channel. Hey everybody, we are back. Thank you for sticking with us. I know that trailer has been played on several live streams at this point, but hey, the plan is for us to actually play on Friday. So hopefully, we'll actually get to do it. All right, so
Hooray.
yes, hooray. I lost my train. Oh, right, after the break. So, I'm going to try to make it short because you guys have already been extremely generous, but this is a show that is primarily funded by users and viewers like you. Probably viewers, not users, whatever. This isn't a software. This is a show. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so yeah, if you want to help support the show, obviously
We're
super chats
users and
super...
abusers here at Dapper Dinosaur Live.
You know, yeah. Hey, remember that time that the
You are
super
not
chat
okay
things
today.
No, I haven't been okay. First of all, I haven't been okay in like a decade, but I'm super not okay the past week or so. I had to drive to the
You've been
hospital.
having
this
a
week.
hard
I
time this
hate
whole
that.
year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no good. No good.
Yeah,
No bueno.
I don't like driving to the hospital. And this is not a criticism of Bent. I want Bent to have me drive him to the hospital when he needs to go to the hospital. And, like...
Yeah.
But, like... Holy crap is something I hate. And I hate it when people are in the hospital. And that's been happening to more than just Bent lately. And I don't like it. And, like, my computer. And it's a whole lot. So, anyway. This show is almost entirely supported directly by people like you guys watching this. So if you are someone who wants to help out and keep the show running, let me be able to do things like pay $300 freaking shipping costs or buy new microphones or whatever. The best way to do it is probably the Patreon. Patreon is where I get to keep the most. Starts at $1. There's also the channel memberships that starts at $1.99. Patreon has a 15% discount if you go annually. Both of them give you early access to my scripted videos. A new one should be coming out hopefully this week. Maybe not, depending on how fast Sheep it is. Then there will be another one shortly after that because I already have another script that's about halfway done right now. Then you also get access to my Discord. By the way you get access to the Discord is by linking your Discord account to the account that you use to send me the money, whether it be your YouTube for the memberships or your Patreon for the Patreon. But yeah, also you can render for me. There's a description of how to do so in the description of the video. Because it's a description in a description. It's descriptionception.
I'm just watching this man spin off into oblivion right now.
Hey,
Why people need me. Brrr, helicopter noises and just the dapper dinosaur spinning up into the sky.
I clawed it back from the brink of oblivion. It's fine. Don't worry
You
about it.
did, but you did great. You're
Thank
wonderful. And also you should absolutely animate that. It would be very funny and just put it on a green screen for people to use. On the other hand, make sure you add the helicopter noise. But on the other hand, if you like Dapper Dinosaur's content and you're curious about what he has to say about politics or other things, you can find him on Debate Hub.
It's true. Also, check out Top Hats Off.
He has some opinions.
It's true. Top Hats Off, last time I checked, was 70 away from the 1,000 subscriber mark for monetization. And if I can get it to the 1,000 mark before the end of the year, then it will actually qualify for the partnership program before those requirements change. So please, if you're watching and you're not subscribed to Debate Hub, or not Debate, well, yeah, Debate Hub too, but Top Hats Off, both of those, go subscribe right now. Go do it.
You should also subscribe to Debate Hub because I'm also at we are at 700 subscribers and I just want to beat Top Hats Off to 1,000. Okay, thanks.
It's possible, although you got a ways to go.
Yeah, you're definitely got a way head start.
Yeah, I'm at 930 over on Top Hats Off. So
yeah.
Plus, you can see Chesh there. She's there a lot, almost as much as me.
I think I'm there more than you are. I would hope so.
I don't.
On Debate Hub? Oh, you mean Top Hats Off?
Yeah. Did I say Debate Hub? I meant Top Hats Off.
I thought you meant Debate Hub.
I mean, you're there almost as much as I am on Top Hats Off.
Yeah, and if my channel gets to 5,000 subscribers when I'm at 4,200, I think I just broke. And when I get to 5,000, I'm gonna do a cover song, so you get to hear me sing something.
I've heard some of the songs that people want you to cover, and some of them I think would be a much better fit for your voice than others. But I've told you about this. All right,
I'm taking suggestions.
Here we go. Here's Matt.
Look at this. A fantastic animal. It's
is.
So wild. Just fascinating that God created something like this. And you're like, okay, how do they actually know what it looks like? Well, there's the skull for you.
So I've actually seen that exact skull in person.
That looks fake.
And it's real though. I've seen it in person. I have been less than 2 feet away from the skull. So
it looks fake.
It does look fake.
It doesn't look like wild. AI.
No.
I'll give it that much.
But like it's wild and it's true. It's that is the skull. I've been in its presence. I've read that sign on the left that's cut off.
Where is it?
It's in Phoenix.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool
yeah,
looking.
I have pretty good understanding what it looks like. In fact, Aesthemosuchus is one of only 2 Therapsids where we have skin impressions, non-mammalian ones, obviously. So, Aesthemosuchus, there are some impressions of skin around the head, and it seems to be kind of naked skin with some bumps on it, maybe even some...
Like a sphinx cat, maybe.
Evidence of some kind of gland. Just recently, new remains came out of South Africa for what...
By the way, when he says some evidence of glands, one of the things I want to point out is that is on its own a similarity to mammals. So we can already see it has very mammal-like dentition, right? Like we've got some pretty obvious incisors. canines on both sides, and then something back there that's kind of molar-like, right? So that's,
What if it had like skin that was attached?
it might
had
have,
like a frill.
but we don't have any evidence of that. It's possible though.
Mm.
But glandular skin is actually an adaptation that in modern extant animals is basically unique to some frogs and mammals. So among amniotes, only mammals have glandular skin.
Ooh.
Among extant animals,
Maybe they had like a thing.
also possible. So, but yeah,
Paleo art is fun.
just the fact that we have some reason to think that we have glands is another reason why this is on the mammal line. In fact, skin glands are what gives rise to mammary glands, because mammary glands are modified skin glands. And in fact, in monotremes, so the echidnas and the platypus, they're still skin glands. Platypus and echidnas don't actually have nipples with internal mammary glands. They have what are called milk lines on their bellies, where there are just glands that exude milk right onto the fur, which the babies then lick.
What they're calling mummified Lystrosaurus. So Lystrosaurus is a Dicynodont, one of the ones with the beaks. And
by the way, Lystrosaurus is one of my favorite animals in Ark Survival Evolved because it's adorable, and it also makes your other animals level up faster when it's around. So
that's cool.
Yeah, they're just cute. And so anyone who kills them for meat is dead to me. Kill the dodos.
I have a video clip that I'm going to give to Dapper, so that way when you guys meet the super chat goal to unleash the swears, he has a little thing he can play.
I will take a look at it afterwards.
It has skin impressions all over the body and seems to have that kind of similar naked kind of skin. Now, these animals I've shown you, most of them don't look all that much like mammals. And same,
unless you don't know what to look for, which I do, Matt. In which case I can say, hey, here's some non-obvious mammal-like features of these animals that actually do indicate that there's more in common than just, like, funny teeth and only one hole in the skull. Besides...
Can I be a dick for a second?
Okay, first of all, when have I ever told you no to that? And second, it's just your general, like, default state. So, like, yeah, obviously.
Okay, all right, hear me out just for a second. I feel like the response to somebody who is a young earth creationist or somebody saying something along the lines of, oh, it doesn't look like that, so like a flat earther or whatever, you just start pulling up pictures of like men and women who are like quote unquote lady boys or like femboys, and that are just like, is that a boy or a girl? Is that a boy or girl? Is that a boy or girl? Well, it looks like. Is it though?
You know,
are they?
Chesh, remind me, and later I will tell you when we're not on YouTube about the Singapore switch.
Right? All I'm saying is that you could pull up some relatively ambiguous pictures or some pictures of people who are men that look very effeminate sometimes, or look effeminate in those photos, and vice versa. And so, what do they look like, Matt?
I think, why would an evolutionary scientist believe that Therapsids form transitional sequences to mammals?
Matt, you already showed a transitional sequence in your first slide, my guy. What are you talking about? Why would they think this? It's pretty damn obvious, but okay.
Well, a lot of that goes
besides
back
all this evidence I've been showing so far.
Yeah, also, he's showing another transitional sequence. I can't. I'm taking a drink. What are you doing, Matt? Oh my god. Oh, come on, Matt.
To the fact that I haven't shown you the more mammal-like ones. I've shown you the fun ones so far. But you can see like this artist rendition of a Gorgonopsian, a Therapsid, and a Cynodont. Certainly they're making them look very mammalian. And so...
Gorgonopsian.
They are some of my favorite Permian animals.
Needs more snake hair.
I mean, I don't know what snake hair is, but okay.
He moved again.
Oh, he did.
Hair made of snakes.
Oh, like an actual Gorgon.
Like a Gorgon.
Yeah. How did Gorgons turn into metal bulls in D&D?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's very weird.
I don't know. It's upsetting.
Yeah. I mean, I like the poison breath metal bull monster. That's a cool monster. But call it something besides a Gorgon.
Yeah, that's just a bad name. Pick a better name.
Right. Like Boulet, which looks like it's pronounced boulette, but it's not. It's Boulet.
Yeah.
be doing that, we'll look at these
Call it a
animals a little
for
more
real.
detail.
A what?
An FORREAL. A for real.
I have to go back a little bit now because I missed what he said.
If you must.
Therapsid and a cynodont, certainly they're making them look very mammalian. And so why would they be doing that? We'll look at these animals in a little more detail.
So there's a number of reasons for that. One of which is that they're increasingly mammal-like in their anatomy, Matt. So what do you want us to do? Like,
what do you think a transition looks like, my guy?
right.
I don't know
when
what to
when
tell
something
you.
has an increasingly mammal-like skeleton, it probably had mammal-like other things too.
I feel like
sorry.
I feel like we're just at the color wheel. All right, I'm going to show you red, and you're going to tell me if this is red or not. Do you recognize this as red? Okay, when did it become yellow?
Yeah. Where's orange in the middle of that? Where did it go from
Yeah.
red to orange to yellow? Isabella Tracer for $5 says, yes, the paleo artist just made them look transitional Gambit. See also paleo art of Australopiths. Yeah. The thing is that the reason for the art looking like that is because the anatomy is like that. Now, I will say that I don't think that Probanognathus had exterior pinnae of the ears. That's the cartilaginous part. I think that's probably inappropriate. We have good reason to think that monotremes probably ancestrally had pinnae, but that only puts pinnae as far back as like crown mammalia, and I think we could probably extend it to some mammaliformes, but Probanognathus is well before even the actual mammaliformes, so I don't think that's terribly appropriate. So if it were me drawing Probanognathus, it would have an ear much more like that Gorgonopsian. So I will say I do think that's inappropriately mammal-like, but like we know that something towards the end Permian had hair because we found lots of mammal-like hair in coprolites, which is just fossilized dung. And what are the only things that could reasonably have had hair at the time? Well, it's the most mammal-like things. So that's things like Therocephalians or Cynodonts.
I get the vibe that these people, like Matt, are looking for, like, I want a one thing answer. And it's cumulative knowledge. It's preponderance of many things that are giving us the amount of information that we can digest, infer, and piece together. It's not a monolith of one thing.
Yeah. Normandy Frogsfrat says, how do so many things conflate Lamia and Gorgons? I'm not sure I remember something conflating those two. Are those two things conflated a lot? I mean, maybe they are. Also, hey, Chesh, how do you feel about Dark Sun? And do you think they're going to screw it up as much as they did Spelljammer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they're going to screw it up. They're going to screw it up. They're going to screw it up at least as much as Spelljammer. I think they might. Okay, so here's the thing with Dark Sun. This is an issue. Dark Sun is dark. It's meant to be dark. It's meant to have dark themes and bad things happening in it that are not okay, very bad things, which Hasbro owning Dungeons and Dragons right now means they want everything to be as PG and as marketable to everybody as possible. So unless they're going to go outside that box, they're going to wreck Dark Sun.
So I will say they have already released a trailer, which is an R-rated trailer, and the box set says it's going to be for mature audiences only, and it's going to have like a suggested age of like 17 plus.
I've seen them do stuff like this and then backpedal on it though. So
okay. Well, let's just say if they follow through with that, maybe.
If they follow through with that, I'm still not going to pay any money for it because don't hire the Pinkertons.
Yeah, don't hire the Pinkertons.
But I want to first just give you a glimpse into how robust many evolutionists believe this transitional sequence is as proof for evolution. So,
is it just me, or does this guy kind of look like Pelagia?
He's got a similar sort of hairstyle, but he's a redhead, not a blonde.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, hair color notwithstanding.
Yeah. By the way, this book, Evolution Slam Dunk. I own a copy. It's quite good. It's dense though, so be prepared. But it's by James Downard, who is a friend of the channel. He's one of the guys I went to the Grand Canyon with a few years back, so that was a lot of fun. He's one of the science friends that I have met in real life, in person, in Arizona. So it is available on Amazon. I believe it's a print-on-demand book. So if you want to get your hands on it, it's right there. I don't make any money off of it. And I believe that James actually, or RJ, actually only makes a tiny amount of money as well. So, like, no one's getting rich off of this, but it does go through the mammal, the Therapsid to mammal transition in great detail, and also highlights just how much creationists have never really addressed it. So,
Here's a book called Evolution Slam Dunk: Why the Reptile Mammal Transition Proves Macroevolution and How Anti-Evolutionists Ignore It. It's by James Downard. Obviously no friend to creationism.
correct. In fact, he and other friend of the channel, Jackson Wheat, are already working on The Rocks Were There Volume 2, and that's nearing completion. Their Volume 1 is
Nice.
also available as a print-on-demand book over on Amazon, and I have a signed copy signed by both authors. So
Very cool.
it is very cool. Yeah, I took my copy to the Grand Canyon where RJ was, and he signed it there. And then when I was in Louisiana for my brother's wedding, I flew in to Jackson's hometown, and we hung out. Our intention was actually to hang out for an entire day, but a whole bunch of crazy storms happened, and I was delayed by over 24 hours. So we hung out for a few hours, and then
there you go.
yeah.
He writes, the reptile mammal transition is the most compelling case for macroevolution. Besides the fossils covering millions of years, there's a wealth of corroborating science data from developmental biology to the latest genetics. Now, how do those skeptical of evolution, whether they call themselves creationists or favor intelligent design, deal with all that evidence? They don't. That's what he wrote.
And he's right. Actually, to be fair, also, oh wait, Matt moved again. We have to take a drink.
No. This guy.
Um,
I'm waiting for him to pop
So
up
like I
like
said,
in a weird kitty corner spot.
not a friend of creationism, but
or
you know
upside
what?
down.
He's pretty much right.
Mhm.
For the most part, creationists have ignored these animals. There's a little bit of
Oh, good
writing
for
here
him.
and there in
Yeah.
70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. You can find little articles, but it's really sparse.
By the way, I don't know why we're getting trans pride flags in the chat, but I absolutely support trans rights. Trans rights are human rights, so I appreciate all the trans flags in the chat. Presumably, someone said something that involved that. Then also, let's see. Right hand Sith says Athos is the place that makes the Nine Hells look like paradise. I don't know if I would go that far, because like you can survive as a person in Athos to a degree that's not likely in the Nine Hells. But like I don't know. I just know that if I were to play in an Athos campaign, I'm going to be a Thrycreen, and I will.
Thrycreens are a good choice.
Thrycreen, yeah. I will also eat every elf I can.
Oh, also a good choice.
Yeah, well, Thrycreen have a particular fondness for elf flesh in the lore of
Yeah,
Dark Side.
well.
So,
Valid.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah.
Valid.
Mhm.
Valid.
and I'm gonna have my little like three-bladed throwing weapon, and I'm gonna like specialize in it. And
I like it.
I will also bring a soundboard so that I can communicate only in clicks and chirps and whistles, so that I can be just as annoying as a Kenku player.
Did you see that video I sent to you and Jordan?
Yeah.
Just Shrek.
Actual Kenku players who go lead into the only sound effects thing are annoying as hell.
I think it would be really funny if somebody did that, but they said they did it where they were only playing like clips of Jim Carrey talking.
Oh no. Gotcha Elfanon says, isn't this while streaming? Hold on. Isn't this while stream? I think while is just an accidental like phone thing. So isn't this stream about transitioning? You know what?
It means
Transitional fossils?
whole.
Yes.
Isn't this whole stream
Oh,
about transitioning?
whole. Yeah. Okay. Yes. To some extent. Yeah. Yeah. A different kind, but yeah, it is.
How
I
do
get it now.
you? How do you do these streams without me?
I just struggle. Struggle has been basically my default mode for like the
Brother.
entire week. Even the weekend was a bit of a struggle.
Listen, valid.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's
Yeah.
all good.
Everything is falling apart. Everything.
Yeah.
Even the dryer is falling apart. The dryer
Oh,
heating
no.
element doesn't work anymore, but I still use the dryer because it's Arizona and it's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit out, so it doesn't matter that much. But it still takes longer.
We gotta rehome this dinosaur. Apparently,
Right.
holy moly,
Seriously. But seriously though, when it's like 105
he's
out,
gonna end up at that kill shelter.
oh no. But no, really, when it's like 105 Fahrenheit out and you use a dryer with no heater, it still dries your clothes because it's taking in air from the 105 degree like outside,
Yeah.
and it's bone dry
Yeah,
air
yeah.
anyway. So like,
Yeah.
do I
no,
care that much that
makes
the heater
sense.
is out? Not really.
That's been dealt with at all. Now, I will say in the defense of creationists that evolutionists haven't always capitalized on this either. It's hard to find good popular books on synapsids.
It's because they're less charismatic than dinosaurs. That's what it is. Which I don't think is actually fair, because I think there's a lot of really cool, like, especially Permian synapsids that are a lot of fun
This
to learn
is an
about, but-
issue of marketing.
Yeah, yep. And also size. There were no synapsids that were nearly as big as the biggest dinosaurs. Like, there's no T-Rex size synapsids in the fossil record. Well, until you get to mammals. Because, like, in Dricotherus, sure, that was like a T-Rex size, if not bigger. But, like, when we're talking about non-mammal synapsids, yeah.
That are even written by evolutionists. Most of this is hidden away in technical literature. So it's not...
My guy, technical literature is not hiding. It's just not the most, like... It's accessible in the sense of it's easy to get to.
It's not marketable.
Yeah, it's not very marketable.
Not
It's
like...
not supposed to be.
DMing says that Bear Kalesqua's super chat is still highlighted. Yeah, when you super chat a red super chat, it stays up there for a long time.
Yep.
A long time.
This is, just sitting out there for everybody to look at all the time and we have no answer. No, it's, it's stuff that a lot of people don't know about regardless of their worldview.
Okay, but
Fair enough.
Matt, creationists are pretending to be scientists. The scientists aren't
True.
having a lack of focus on synapsids. It's the people who are writing lay books because they don't sell as well, right? But you don't have that problem in Creation Land, because if you can get funding to build an Ark replica in the middle of Kentucky, you can get funding to do a quick study on Therapsids. Now, to be fair to Matt, he's going to talk later about his his blog posts LARPing as papers about synapsids. I'll call them that.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
Megan
no.
Fox's giant boobs for $5 says, "Okay, twist my arm, you darn dinosaur." Thank you. Zerolon for $5 says, "Cheers to bad weeks. AC is going out in my work truck. Ooh, it's been 112.
Ooh.
Oh man, it's that's like 8 degrees or 7 degrees hotter than where I am. Jeez. Then there's a Godzilla to follow up, so I'll take a drink for that. That's like hazardous.
Yeah.
You should demand hazard pay, or you should just not work in that truck. That's like, you could die. Have you ever, like, Chesh, have you
Speaking
ever
of the
had
nine
heat-related-
hells,
Seriously, have you ever had heat-related illness? It's not fun.
it's not fun.
I remember I had some heat exhaustion that was going towards heat stroke. One of the, like, here, well, I was in Phoenix, right? And it sucked. I had to sit in a truck with the AC blasting, just like chugging, what was it? It was sugar-free Gatorade. It was gross.
I don't like when you get like so cold or so hot that you normal, like neutral temperatured water feels one way or the other.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, yeah, be safe, man. I don't want to hear about you dying in a truck.
Yeah, that'd be no bueno.
But I want to show you, why is it that evolutionists are thinking of these animals as transitional? So we're going to take a look at the Gorgonopsians, which are, like I showed
One
you
of my
earlier, a
favorites.
group of Therapsids that have...
Look how cool that looks.
Woo!
Come on. That's a cool
Represent.
animal. And you see what I
It
mean
is.
about how, like, the ribs get smaller and smaller as you get towards the hips, which is going towards that mammal condition of just not having ribs on the... on the distal
yeah.
thoracic vertebrae. Yeah, it's happening. Like, you can look at it and you're like, I can see how this is on the way to being a mammal. It also has that much more erect posture, especially in the hind limbs, which with mammals who are hind limb dominant in most groups. Most groups, the majority of the propulsive force comes from the hind limbs, and they're erect. Right? Like, you can see how this is like almost a mammal right here in the skeletal diagram, or reconstruction. It's not a diagram. Sorry. The mount.
saber teeth. They're carnivores, and you notice, yeah, like I said, the skull does kind of resemble a wolf or something. Artist depictions of these animals, yeah, it looks like kind of like a reptile dog or something. Like,
Luckily, Leon Kennedy says, so he's just going to show why they're transitional. Yeah, basically.
I'm kind of confused about what his point is.
He just keeps showing things that just look like transitional species, right?
You can imagine.
And then saying they're not.
Right, like nuh-uh though. Like, okay, but look at it. Look at it, dude.
I mean, that's his argument, right? Look at it. And I'm like, it doesn't. He's like, it doesn't look like that. It's like, okay, but it looks like this.
Wait, did he move his position?
Are we gonna look at
again?
this or not? Yeah, he did.
Oh,
He's
take a
down
drink.
there now. Ooh, this was a good drink trigger.
It was.
And what's really interesting about
Remember this
Gorgonopsians
for next
is they
time.
do show
I'll try to.
evidence for being able to switch between a semi-sprawling to an erect posture. So in the humerus and in the femur,
Like a
you
dog?
can
So dogs don't really.
Or like a
ever-
bear?
No, really, there aren't too many mammals today that go to even a semi-sprawling. Some like small.
Oh, the
rodents
sprawling.
can-
Sorry, I was
yeah.
thinking like going upwards, not like that's like alligator. Like crocodiles do that.
Yeah.
I guess there's like a handful of like, isn't there a lizard that'll stand up and run on the water? That guy.
Yeah, there's a basilisk, or sometimes called the Jesus lizard. But it does swing its feet into a more erect posture when it does that. But really, if you want to go for reptiles who sometimes have an erect posture and sometimes have a sprawling posture, crocodilians is your best way to go, because
Yeah, because they like sit, they like walk on the bottom on their little feet. They're so cute.
But also, did you know that the Cuban crocodile can just gallop?
Yeah, I mean, crocodiles don't look that different from dogs if you're just gonna go with that. They are all on all fours, and like they can be a little bit higher or a little bit lower. Like, what's your definition of looks like a dog? Has a long snout and walks on four legs? Like,
Also, if you want to see crocodilians doing high, what are called high walks, where they have the erect limb posture, there's a lot of footage of them doing that across Florida golf courses. You can find lots of footage of alligators doing a high walk across a golf course.
spooky.
Yeah.
I would recommend all of you check out #FlatFuckFriday.
Yeah, it is fun. Also, I remember one time I was on a trail on a Navy base, and I just came across a alligator in the middle of that trail, and I was like, okay, that's an alligator. Great. And then one time when I was in South Carolina with a large portion of my family, my nephew decided to start running ahead on the trail as a gigantic alligator decided to cross the trail. And so me and his father, my brother-in-law, had to grab him and haul him back lest he be devoured by a enormous alligator.
I would like to point out
huge.
also that they're like, people call them swamp puppies. So another point in my favor is all I'm saying.
Ashley Loves Bahai, who's been a member for 17 months, has the correct opinion when saying that the Cuban crocodile is the coolest crocodilian, and I agree. However, the coolest alligatorid, there we go, alligatorid, is the Cuvier's dwarf caiman, and I will not be taking any questions on the coolest alligatorid, but the coolest crocodile, at least, is the Cuban crocodile. And you know what? If people want to go back and forth between Cuvier's dwarf caiman and the Cuban crocodile as best crocodilian, the whole group, I wouldn't really argue. However, I will say that the false gharials are exceptionally cool, and they don't get enough attention or love. And everyone's like, oh, this is the false gharial. Let me see the actual real gharial, by which they just mean the Indian gharial. And I'm sorry, but I just think that the smooth transition between the narrow snout, as opposed to the abrupt transition between the cranium and the smooth snout that you get in the Indian gharial, I like the smooth transition better. So if it comes down to it, I prefer the false gharial to the quote-unquote true gharial. Dutch Tunicate for Dutch Tunicate official for $2 says 10,000 years ago we had terrestrial crocs running around. I think you mean more like 10 million years ago.
Oh.
Although actually, no, maybe there was a terrestrial, because now I'm vaguely remembering a terrestrial crocodile that went extinct in like much more recently than that, but it wasn't a planocratid, which is what I'm thinking about from a few million years ago. So I might just be sort of like half forgetting.
See that there's
everything is actually history.
No. As a guy with a history degree, no.
No.
degrees of rotation that are possible, and has been talked about for decades that probably these animals could switch between the two when they wanted to. And as we make our way down that kind of line to mammals, we hit cynodonts. And cynodonts are the most mammal-like of all the non-mammalian synapsids. So like in mammals, the lower jaw of a cynodont is almost entirely made up of the dentary bone. So the other animals we've been looking at so far, they have multiple bones in the lower jaw. But
I love how much of this is just, yeah, of course they're transitional. Look at them. Let me explain to you why they feel transitional. Yeah, man. Because the thing is, okay, one of the points of having this guy on at all. Oh, and he changed position.
Get it.
Take a drink.
Oh,
One of the points of having him,
my brother in Christ, please.
one of the points of having him on at all is specifically that pseudoscience, which includes creationism, is always conclusion first, evidence second, right? But if you just look at the evidence, it's pretty obvious that we have a transitional sequence. And if you were to say, like, hey, what would evolution predict we should find in the fossil record if, mammals share a common ancestor with reptiles and a more distant common ancestor with frogs and an even more distant ancestor with, like, trout, right? Well, one of the things you would expect is animals with this exact types of morphology where, like, we have transition in the jaws, in the ribs, in the limbs, in the teeth. And we're seeing all of it. And as his first slide showed, we're getting more and more mammal-like morphology as we go forward in time, which is another prediction that we would make on the basis of evolution. So not only does it look like it evolved, it's also matching the predictions of evolution. Sorry, Chesh, go ahead.
I just have I have one question for this guy, and I would love to have him on to just ask this one question. If these aren't transitional, what would a transitional fossil look like?
Yeah. And the thing is that whenever creationists talk about what a transitional form would look like, they have two answers. One is it would be a crocoduck, which is just a violation of basically everything we know about evolution. And if we actually found a real crocoduck, that would be a big problem for evolutionary biology.
Right.
The other thing that they say, though, is just what we have in the fossil record. But then when you present them with that, they're like, nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
No.
Ashley Loves High says, if I recall correctly, there are some quite recent species of crocodilians that were at least hypothesized to have been mostly terrestrial. Yeah, I'm remembering that, like, as we go on, like that being a thing, and I just kind of forgot. Because, hey guys, I don't know all the things. I know that I'm basically a professional smart guy. I'm a professional know-it-all, but it turns out that I don't know all of it, and I forget things sometimes.
He's EB.
Yeah, I am a little EB. That's true.
He's EB.
I have audio to record, and I've wanted to record it yesterday, and I want to record it tonight, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, my guy. Take a nap.
No, you can't make me.
I'm going to show up at your house with a baseball bat.
Do it. I dare you.
Oh, I'll have a nap real quick.
Do it. Come show up.
Basically, what I'm saying is I'm going to take Dapper out for some... I'm going to hit the ball and let him go chase it until he tuckers himself out.
Aww. No, but what we actually have to do is get you some lengua tacos, because you've never had beef tongue.
Yes.
Yeah. Lengua tacos is actually one of my go-to tacos. I have been known to just devour like 6 lengua tacos in a sitting.
Ooh.
So good.
In mammals, we only have one bone. It's called the dentary. It makes up our lower jaw. And so in cynodonts, you're seeing that right there.
He's explaining
they also
why
have
it's
a secondary
right
palate,
now.
secondary bony palate.
Yep.
So this is something that mammals have that allows for us to be able to breathe through our nose while we're eating. And lots of animals don't have that. Lizards just have a big opening right there. They don't have a hard bony separation between the two chambers, but cynodonts do. Additionally, I have true.
Guy, why are you doing my job for me?
Lumbar
yeah, what are
vertebrae.
we like? What?
It's like, look how mammal-like this cynodont is. Yeah, man.
I feel like you could literally just take out. You could take out or bleep out like just a couple of sentences out of this video, and it'd be a perfectly functional video explaining transitional fossils in synapsids.
Yep.
How did you do this, my guy? Is this scripted? Did you script this?
Yeah, Peter Zeno, Chris Munger. I'm going to take Dapper out, Chesh 2026. Well, apparently, though, the thing is that we're all forgetting is that apparently, according to one weird AI song, Chesh and I are dating and are in a very loving and caring relationship. So, and also apparently, my last name just happens to be Hitler.
This is the if you were my wife, I would put poison in your drink. If I was your wife, I would drink it.
No, but in case you guys don't know, there was a guy, what's his name, Wolf or something?
Yes, but no.
Whatever. There's a guy who is very annoyed at Chesh, who had AI make up a song about us to insult, I guess, us. But the insult is that like we have a meet cute in a park and then have like an adorable, caring, and very healthy relationship. But also my last name is Hitler. And it's like
you could write a feel good story around it.
Right. And it's like, my guy, do you think that the problem with Adolf Hitler is that his last name was Hitler? Because I promise that's not the actual problem with him. That's not why people don't like him.
This is the same group of people where that one lady was like, I was saying people were like Nazis and neo-Nazis, and she said, "Are they German though?" And I was like, my guy, the quintessential Nazi was not German.
Hey, did you know that Madison Square Garden once held a Nazi rally before World War II, attended almost exclusively by Americans who weren't German?
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Look out.
Templar Warden for 5 Kiwi bucks says, what would be the last common ancestor of a crocodile and a duck? How crocoduck would that be? So that would basically be the first archosaur, and it would be extremely not crocoduck. It would be a little bit more crocodile than duck, because it looks like crocodiles have basically like the ancestral archosaur ankle, just because their ankles are a lot more like our like archosauriformes that we have that aren't quite archosaurs. So it would be much more croco than it would be duck. It would have had teeth. It would have not had a bill. And it would have scaly skin, or skin with scutes and scales and whatnot. So yeah, but we don't have a name for that animal because like there's no way to know if we found it, and we probably haven't.
Sure. I'm laughing at I'm laughing at chat. We've got Orange Dot saying a song almost certainly wrote in all caps.
Olivia Williams, Purple Fairy Light, who's been a member for 51 months and is at the annual level, says, drink up with a Ghidorah. Cheers.
Gasho, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, said, Dapper, of course it's an insult. Haven't you heard? Dating women is gay.
You know, I have heard about that. Yeah, if you like women, you're
I have heard about that.
Yeah, like,
my
favorite is like, hey, gay guys, is it gay to love your wife? Like, no. What are you talking about?
Megan Fox's giant boob says, my boyfriend named Hitler coming to Crunchyroll soon.
Seriously though, in the song, like, I'm helping Chesh with gardening and like bringing her hot beverages on like cold rainy days and stuff, and I'm like,
turns out Hitler's literally the best boyfriend ever.
I'm like, I'm sorry, is the insult that I'm just a great boyfriend? Because like, thanks,
my boyfriend is perfect except when he does genocide on the weekend.
Except in the song I don't do a genocide, it's just my name.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like, I'm a great boyfriend who had shitty parents that gave him a stupid name. Like, that's the song. And it's like, I'm sorry, but like, good boyfriend with bad name is a really bad insult, guy. So that's how you'll know if we're ever dating, is if I show up for Chesh with a hot coffee on a cold rainy day.
Yep.
This Thrynaxodon right here.
Even though she drinks tea.
You can see a skull of Thrynaxodon. I'm also going to show you a video.
Spite coffee.
So check this out.
That's actually me being a bad boyfriend. It's like, here's your coffee that you don't want. Honey.
Listen,
cool.
Sweetheart, here's this drinky you don't drink.
This is a cool fossil.
They did a
flat fuck
synchrotron scan of this rock. It's a fossilized burrow, and inside of it, they found a Thrynaxodon cynodont with an amphibian called Brumistega. And you can see Thrynaxodon has some weird looking ribs.
They are,
but it does.
So the interpretation that this has been given, this is probably a Thrynaxodon burrow, and that the Brumistega tried to take shelter in there during a storm, and that later flooding infilled this whole thing with sediment suffocating them. But like, there's no particular sign that they struggled against each other, so it looks like they were just cool cuddling in the burrow to try to wait out the storm.
Yeah.
So
cute.
Yeah.
does have a portion of the vertebral column that is consistent with what we see in mammals, the lumbar region, which allows for a lot of vertical.
Hey, Chesh, remember how I was talking about how the differentiation between, your lumbar and your thoracic vertebrae, and like how that's a difference that is a thing that's unique to modern mammals, and how that's a sign of the shift from more basal synapsids to modern mammals. Wow! Let's take a drink for me making that prediction, how all that's all transitional.
Bro, I'm so tired.
How do you think I feel?
I'm so tired, man. Oh my god.
Just
Brother.
look how transitional, how perfectly transitional Therapsid is. My guy, come on.
Oh no.
Yeah, why would evolutionists think that this is a transition? I don't know, because it's a perfect fucking transition. What are we doing?
Good question. What are we doing? Why are we here?
We're here because it's Tuesday, and you,
It's true.
because you're awesome, and my alleged girlfriend, whom I bring coffee.
Because I'm a good boyfriend.
Yeah, but maybe you are a good boyfriend. Maybe you're a better boyfriend than I am. I don't know. Will you bring me coffee?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, okay. If you bring me coffee, you can be my boyfriend. That's what it takes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Wow, I'm really easy.
Yeah, you are.
Jeez.
Flexion. It's like where you don't have ribs poking out from those vertebrae. And as we continue to look at Cynodonts, we see even more mammal-like ones, like Proboscis here, where if you look, almost the entire jaw is the dentary.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see almost the entire jaw is the dentary, right?
Also, if you didn't know better, you would think that was just like the skull of a rat or a mouse or something.
Yeah, looks like it to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
I would know, but that's because, like, I have some degree of specialized knowledge about this. But, like, it just looks like a mammal jaw, or like a mammal skull.
There. But there are other bones. They're just way, way crammed back in here, kind of on the inside for the most part. And
I think all the bones are supposed to be on the inside, but what do I know?
Well, he means to the back of the jaw.
Shut
up, I'm making a joke.
Jaw joint, traditionally, with reptiles, is the quadrate and the articular. Okay, and that's what all of our Cynodonts and synapsids we've looked at so far have had. But mammals have a jaw joint that's between the squamosal and the dentary.
True. Take a drink.
And what's really interesting is it looks like these are so close in Proboscis that it may have actually had two jaw joints.
In fact, we're very confident that it did, because the interface between its tiny quadrate and tiny articular bone actually still seemed to have like a proper interface between them. And so it probably did have a secondary jaw joint. Which, if you have mammals on the one side who have a dentary squamosal jaw joint, and you have basal tetrapods on the other side that have a an articular quadrate jaw joint, going between them would require you to find an animal, like that would require an animal to have existed who had both jaw joints. And that was actually hypothesized before we ever found Proboscis. People were like, I don't know how this could work, right? Because you would have to have the two jaw joints, and that doesn't seem
science is predictive.
And then scientists were like, well, if it's true, then we would have to find this. And then we found it. So this was a predicted animal. It was predicted this animal must have existed. And then we found it afterwards. So that sounds like the gold standard of science to me, right? Confirmed prediction. Aiden Palomoyo says, I have an AeroPress Dapper Date Me. First of all, that's great, but I'm not getting any of that coffee. You're not bringing it to me. So, but there's also a Carmen.
I'm sorry, I'm dying. Somebody in my Discord. So Jordan Peterson is back. Sad news,
no.
everyone, I know. And so I'm going to be talking about that next week. But I posted that I was going to be talking about it, and me and this other guy were making jokes about Inuyasha about it. And I posted a picture of like sexy Sesshomaru, and he responded with like as if it was fucking Jordan Peterson.
Oh no,
Sesshomaru, what an interesting and malicious character. So we know he craves power.
power. We all know this, and so because of this, he goes about hither and thither, searching for his father's fang, which becomes a sword of unfathomable power. And this fang is the symbol of that power. And as all men look up to their fathers as a symbol of what to do and what not to do, like with Adam and Eve in the garden, it's very clear that this Sesshomaru wants to adopt this symbol as a totem of achievement. Are we following so far? So anyways.
Wow.
He said, I would actually die watching Jordan Peterson try to deconstruct Inuyasha. Oh my god, that would be so funny. First off, written by a female author. Second off, anime. Smash those two things together and throw it at Jordan Peterson would be the funniest shit ever.
As Isabella Tracer says, Jordan Peterson is back? The woke moralists must be quaking in fear. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, quaking,
We call it double jaw joint. I have one
truly.
between the quadriarticular and one between the squamosal and the dentary. And this is very important because it looks transitional, right? It looks like you're switching from one type of jaw joint to another. And this was predicted before it was found.
Hey, there's a prediction on my point, too, because I pointed that out. And yeah, it was predicted before it was found, Matt. That makes this a confirmed prediction of evolution, Matt.
What is he even talking about anymore? Like, my guy, what's your point?
You know what? Here's my point. Matt, you are making my case for me. You're also making RJ's case for him. You're broadly
we can all just go home.
Case, and basically all you're going to have for this, I think, is just nuh-uh. But we're going to leave that for later because we are basically bumping up on the 2-hour point. And I still have stuff to do. Because...
I'm take a nap.
Yeah. I'm probably going to sleep. I'm not going to record audio. There's been too much tequila.
Take a nap.
Yeah.
Nap time.
So... what's going to be happening is I'm not doing Star Trek right now. Ben is still not feeling super well, so we're going to wait until he's feeling a lot, until he's actually feeling up to it. Because he's a big part of movie night. So, because he's basically the reason it started. So he's sort of the linchpin.
You said Star Trek, and I got really confused about Friday.
No, we're talking about the Star Trek watch party that we do that you never show up for.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So we're not doing that.
Let me know when you're watching Tremors.
I have thought about that being one of the things that we watch. So we're not doing that, but let's see. Chesh, what do you have coming up on your channels in the next week or so?
Okay, so today I was watching Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson, and I was dissecting their debating style. So it's actually not, like, it's going to be painful because listening to them is painful, but it's not what you think it is. Okay. I'm going to be watching part 2 on Thursday. And that's over on my regular channel. For Debate Hub, there is a discussion about the singularity happening tomorrow at 1 or 3 p.m. Eastern. I can't remember which. Go to the channel and see. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
So
don't subscribe. Leave me alone.
Don't do that. So over on my
channel, Monday streams are crazy though. I get all the crazies on Monday, so come check that out if you like crazies.
Especially this week. It was worse than normal.
Yeah. It's a good time.
So here,
okay, go on.
For me on tomorrow I don't have anything coming out, but on Thursday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, I have Creationism is a Cognito Hazard, Menton on Lucy, Part 1, where the late David Menton is going to be talking to us about Australopithecus afarensis. And I don't know exactly which video it happens in, but in this series, he does the good old creationist trope of weirdly sexualizing an Australopithecus afarensis fossil.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going to talk about her breasts and like that her grooming and like he's going to be comparing her and her sex appeal. Like
wet ass P word?
Yeah, maybe. It's I do actually believe he specifically talks about her genitalia in a way that is look, the whole thing's a little creepy on that front. I don't know what it is about creationists and like sexualizing Australopithecus afarensis, but it happens kind of a lot and it's kind of gross. But anyway, that's going to be about a 48-minute video, so not too long. You might be able to get that done in a lunchtime. Then on Friday, the plan is to actually do the Star Trek Endurance episode. And if you have not seen Star Trek Endurance, it is our Star Trek Adventures First Edition actual play. Replay the TTRPG Star Trek Adventures First Edition. It's got me, it's got Chesh, it's got Craig, it's got Manya, it's got Ziralon, it's got Tirirana, it's got Maddie. I think that's everyone, right?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Oh, it's got Jordan from Reason to Doubt. I forgot Jordan. Sorry about sorry, Jordan. So
Fuck you, Jordan.
No, Jordan's a good XO.
Jordan's actually one of my favorite people to play with. He's wonderful.
Yeah, Jordan's great. So,
but also fuck you, Jordan.
I do not join in on this sentiment. All right, so that is the.
He
plan.
likes me better
Than me.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. Yeah, so that's at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Because I'm the
8 p.m.
best
Eastern.
boyfriend.
Yep, obviously. So that's over on Top Hats Off. So come watch that. Which again is a channel that's really itching in on 1,000 subscribers. I'd like it to get there. Hopefully, we could get there by the end of the year. That'd be great. Then on Saturday, I'm going to be back with Vishanti and Kip. Presumably, I believe both of them will be here. And we're going to continue.
And if they're not, you might end up with me again.
Yeah. Well, it also might. I'm thinking it's going to be our last Dan Biddle Giants video because I was reminded that the last bit of his video is almost certainly going to be a bunch of like shilling for books and ministry stuff, which I don't care to show people.
Yeah.
So that might be the finale of our talk about the Giants from the perspective.
Just to be aware that if you guys come to this channel looking for specific content with specific hosts, there is always a % chance that it's going to be me instead.
Or Vish. Or Vishanti.
Yeah.
Because you and Vishanti are you're like my go-to, hey, an emergency came up. Can you come on the channel?
Send help.
Yeah, basically. So, and then next Tuesday the plan is Jackson with Jackson. I have not confirmed with Jackson, but I mean, it's almost always a guess. So expect Jackson with Jackson on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. That basically sums it up. I am going to go, let's see. I'm going to shut down my desktop. I'm going to take the thumb drive out and I'm going to transfer that text file and send it to the manufacturer of my PC so that way when I wake up in the morning, maybe they'll have an email for me about it. And then I'm probably going to go to bed. Maybe I will have a granola bar. Maybe.
I need a shower.
Yeah.
This stupid made me sweaty.
Sorry. You sure it wasn't the heat?
No, it was definitely that because I'm wearing a hat and a whole pullover. It's definitely because of that.
Is kind of a lot.
It's definitely what it was, yeah.
All right, well, the last thing I have to say over here is, well, first of all, have a great rest
ICE must be abolished.
Stay safe, and yes, ICE must be abolished. Bye, everybody.
Hey, before you leave, I just want to take a second to thank my patrons and channel members, especially those pledging $20 or above. Sealoof, Ben Tovand, Tapioca Weasel, The Plastic Mouse, Mikau Dominiak, Bear Kolesqua, Edwin M., Ken the Swenson, John Ackerman, Sphincter of Doom, Regios, Our Favorite Universe, Ian Chen, Eleron Teller, Phil Rivara, David Hercules, Joshua Geese, Dan Sheedy, Pegajace, Arrow Dodger, Gordon Loves Science, Amber Athelian, Prixie Purple, Agricola Sequa, Me, Myself, and I, and Ian Kiambi. It's because of my channel members and patrons whom you're seeing on screen that this channel can stay afloat. Without you, it would all shut down. If you want to join the team, there's a link to join the channel below this video, and there's a link to join the Patreon in the description. On the Patreon, you can get a 15% discount for pledging annually, and either way, you get early access to virtually all of my scripted videos months before they come out for the general public. Thanks for watching.